That's how you got addicted.
It's the Super Bowl ad that had everyone talking at halftime. The heroin epidemic in our community and one family's heartbreaking message.
It was one of the most talked about commercials in the Super Bowl. A mom comes home to find her teenage son OD'd on heroin, all set to an upbeat jingle.
The Super Bowl is known for memorable commercials, but one locally produced ad may have stood out for its attention-grabbing message. Our local chapter of the National Council on Alcohol and Drug Abuse bought a spot during halftime showing a teen overdosing on heroin. Right here, his mother finds him dead in his bed. Did it grab your attention? Because there is a heroin epidemic in our community.
The metro area is fighting a heroin epidemic, and a local Super Bowl spot tackling the problem is now getting national attention.
A controversial public service announcement about heroin addiction was broadcast locally during the Super Bowl, but it's getting national attention.
St. Louis has a heroin problem, as many as 2,300 heroin-related deaths since 2007. That's the reason that two men who often talk trash to each other on the golf course teamed up to create a powerful anti-drug message. Part of their strategy, reach the local Super Bowl audience.
Some viewers were stunned by the disturbing content. The local office of the National Council on Alcohol and Drug Abuse was behind the ad and says it was meant to shock people.
Howard Weissman is the executive director of the National Council on Alcohol and Drug Abuse, the NCADA, the folks behind this spot. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
You kind of knew this was going to hit a nerve for either better or for worse, right?
Well, we knew that we were taking a risk by airing a provocative ad, and we hoped it was going to start a conversation.
Did it?
Yeah, I think it has. I think the city of St. Louis, a lot of the local media outlets are talking about heroin today, and that's important.
And after this spot hit, I know it went national, even though we only saw it locally here during the Super Bowl. Major news outlets have picked it up and said, here's the ad you didn't see.
St. Louis is getting national attention. All new at 6, Fox 2's Paul Shankman is here with the praise and the pushback being generated by the spot about heroin. Paul?
Well, Rafer and Sandy, what were they thinking is probably what a lot of people were thinking today after being jarred last night by a 60-second public service announcement that is a jaw-dropper. And now that it is going viral, it has become the spot heard round the world.
First you stole prescription pills from your mom.
It is disturbing, and it is meant to be, as a run through the grass in your bare feet sort of ditty plays against the visual of a mother discovering her son has died from taking heroin.
How you OD'd on heroin.
Some viewers were stunned. The spot was produced locally for the St. Louis office of the National Council on Alcohol and Drug Abuse.
We felt like the only time of the year that people are watching TV for the commercials is during the Super Bowl.
Although the spot aired only in St. Louis, it is exploding across social media. And while many are praising it, others, including some who have lost a child to heroin, found it hurtful.
As unpleasant as it was for some to view, it was so necessary for others to see.
And that's how you OD'd on heroin.
Lou and Robin Hecht of Fenton are in mourning. Their 26-year-old son, Corey, died of a heroin overdose December 3rd.
He went through rehab 4 or 5 times, tried 12-step programs, and he always fell back into that addiction.
When Hecht saw the controversial heroin addiction public service announcement, it was too much too soon and too painful. Now, Lou Hecht says even if people are upset with the PSA the way he was, he understands the message and why it's important to get people talking about the St. Louis heroin epidemic that claimed his son.
Marianne Lemond lost her 21-year-old son, Ben, in 2011. He OD'd on heroin on a friend's couch. It took more than a day for someone to notice he was dead.
I think people assume that this happens to people who, don't have any involvement with their kids. And, we were big about having dinner together and going to church.
In St. Louis County, there are more heroin overdoses than homicides. Since 2007, heroin overdoses in St. Louis County have increased by 80%. The St. Louis County Police just launched an entire initiative to fight the epidemic.
We need to reach the people, the millions of people in St. Louis who aren't aware that the Vicodin or the Percocet in their medicine chest is essentially the same chemical as the heroin on the street, and that one leads to another. The happy music reflects sort of the carefree attitude that many young people bring to experimenting with their parents' drugs. So kids are playing Russian roulette with these drugs, and parents are unwittingly leaving loaded revolvers in their medicine cabinet. And we're asking people to pay attention and asking people to remove the extra pain medication that they don't need from their medicine cabinets.
And if you want to see the spot once again, if you want help, if you know somebody who might need help, we've got all the links you need on our website. We're going to link you up to the NCADA website at fox2now.com. Right now, of course, it is about impacting lives and getting help to those who need it. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. John?
Powerful message. Thank you.